aka Collector, coming at you on a Wednesday evening after the kids have gone to bed and everyone is asleep. And I finally get a moment to kind of just decompress and, recap the day. Right now it is 10:30 Pacific time, but it's probably that means it's 1:30 Eastern time. So most of the Eastern or East Coast viewers of the channel are probably in bed. So I don't expect there to be many, if anyone, joining this live. But I guess this will be cool for anyone who decides to catch the live on a replay. You guys can replay it tomorrow. But I wanted to just come to you guys just to do a quick recap of everything that I found today. Haven't had a pickup this crazy in months. But then again, I haven't really done any real like heavy duty game hunting in a while either. But this was a really cool find. I wanted to video the pickup, but because I was moving really fast and everything was happening so fast, I wasn't able to get any like, live footage. Hey, what's going on, Scott? How you doing, man? Um, because everything was happening so fast and I was literally like just on a quick lunch break, I wasn't able to get any footage, which sucks because these are the days that you actually want to record and like so that you guys, I want to record this so that you guys can see it. But sometimes when everything is moving so fast, you just don't get a chance to record. So, but long story short, I walked into a local GameStop that was near me, and I guess either that day or the day before, someone had traded in a ton of NES games. And so it was really cool for me because, as many of you know, I recently sold off my whole collection. So I was able to get back a lot of my favorite NES games in one day here. So this is a really cool pickup. Not gonna take too much time. I'm just gonna show you guys what I got. So the first one is Terra Cresta. This is pretty much a old school shoot 'em up. For those of you who remember what my old collection was like, I was all about the shoot 'em ups, the beat 'em ups, the hack and slashers. So Terra Cresta was one that I got today as a part of the pickup. The next game that I got was this game. This one is new to me. I had never really heard of this game before, but it's something ring. I can't remember what the name of it is. So hard. Artisanal ring. I don't know. Guys, don't destroy me. But this is like a top down. It looks like a top down Zelda style game. This was another one that I picked up. I just picked this one up because it was there. I'd never really seen this NES game before, but I grabbed it. And now let's get to some of the games that I'm super glad to have back in the collection. So the next one that I picked up was Ninja Gaiden 3. I'm so stoked to get this back. So this was one that I had in my original NES collection. This copy is actually better than my original copy. The label's in better condition. So this was a very cool find. Really stoked to actually have had added this one back to the collection as well. So picked up Ninja Gaiden 3. Another one that I was really glad to add back was The Return of Joker. So another really good one, just really good ones. Ones that I played. These were some of the NES games that I played the most when I had my NES collection. So this was another one that I added. The label's kind of peeling on this one, but I'll take it, right? Like I'm not going too crazy. I should be able to fix this fairly easy. So this is one that I will just go ahead and fix once I get some time to kind of go through that. The next game that I added back to the collection was G.I. Joe, Atlantis Factor. I was a fan of both the G.I. Joe games on the NES, both G.I. Joe, A Real American Hero, and G.I. Joe Atlantis Factor. Both games play kind of similar. They're pretty much run and gun shooters for the NES. The one game that I'm really mad that I sold, and I'm gonna get it back, is Contra Force. I will get that game back eventually. But this was another one that I was really glad to add back to the collection. Then they had some heavy, heavy hitters, man. Now, these three games are not games that I had in my collection before, but I couldn't pass them up. So the first one is Gunnak on the NES. This is a shoot 'em up. This was a shoot 'em up that I had been eyeing for the NES for a while. And they just randomly had it in there, man. It was like super random. I walked in there after grabbing some, I just grabbed some Chick-fil-A and I was like, oh, let me see what they got in GameStop. And boom, they had this copy of Gunnak. Now this copy it does have a little bit of like damage to the label here. I don't know if you guys can see it. It's a little blurry, but there is some damage to the label. There's like some sticker residue here as well, but I've never found this game out in the wild. So to find this one was really, really crazy to find. What's going on, Mun Prince? How you doing, man? Yeah, I miss making videos. It's just been a lot's been going on. But yeah, so Gunnak, this is one that I did not have in my original collection. So this is a great way to restart my NES collection. Really, really stoked to find this. The next one is another heavy hitter that I've never seen, Snow Brothers. So this was another really, really rare one. Again, some sticker residue on here, a little bit of damage to the label, but all in all, I mean, again, just one that I didn't have in my original NES collection. So this is another really, really cool pickup. Was glad to find this one as well. This is just one that you don't really see every day, even in mom and pop stores. You don't really see this one. So this was another really cool one to find. Next up, they had Bucky O'Hare. So another one. I was just like, damn. I was like, who was this guy and why did he sell all these games to GameStop? Now, this copy of Bucky O'Hare is actually really clean. Like the label's really, really clean. And, like for me, for those of you who followed my channel for years, you know that I was all about curating my collection. And I told myself that when I rebuild this new collection, the Y2K Collection 2.0, it was going to be just really curated. It was going to be some of the most handpicked games that I could find. And I haven't really bought anything because I just hadn't run into anything worth buying in a while. So this was just a stack. Whoa, this was just a stack of games that were undeniable. I had to grab these and add them to the collection. So this was a copy of Bucky O'Hare. Um, Now there were two more bonus games that I'm going to show you guys. These aren't NES games, but these are two bonus games that I was glad to find. Now, one is a game that I had in my collection way back when I had my other collection, and that is Klonoa 2 for the Game Boy Advance. So this was one that I did have. What's going on, Easy? What's going on, dog? Yeah, I mean, I was a little nervous, Easy. I was like, damn, these game stops are kind of whack. I was like, yo, they didn't have no games, but then I walked into a GameStop today, and dude, they blessed me with the mother load. I mean, I don't know if you're just joining Easy, but dude, I walked into GameStop and they had all of these there, all of these just chilling in there, like just chilling, bro. It was crazy. It's a crazy day, but anyway, so they had this. So this was one that I had in my collection a while back. So I was actually glad to add this one back to the collection. So Snow Brothers, I think Snow Brothers. How much was which one labeled for? I don't know which one are you talking about, Easy. But they had Klonoa 2, so I grabbed Klonoa 2 because this was one I had for my Game Boy Advance collection a while back. And then the last game, which is the game that I'm like really stoked about, Castlevania Legends for the original Game Boy. Now, this one was one that I had had my eye on for a long time. And they had this in there. And I was like, at first I was a little skeptical. I was like, is it real? But then when I took a look, I was like, I can't show. Well, you guys could probably see it. You can probably see the number stamp right there. But this is a real, authentic, fairly clean copy of Castlevania Legends for the original Game Boy. So just all in all, some really, really good stuff. Oh, Snow Brothers. I have to look at the receipt. I'll be honest with you, I can't remember. because I'd have to go back and look at the receipt. But all of these games right here, I want to say no yellowing while Game Boy games are more prone to get. Yeah, yeah. I mean, there's a little bit of yellowing on some of these. There's a little bit of yellowing on some of the NES games, like a very like slight yellowing. But all in all, these were in really good condition. And the pricing, as far as like what I paid, I felt like I got a good deal. So all of the games that you see here, no, I'm not selling these. I'm rebuilding my collection. Who's that? S. Fleischer, no. So these aren't for sale. For those of you who know, I had a really big collection, and I'm rebuilding that collection now. So these are all. Thank you, man. Thank you for the like and the sub. Yes, Steven. All right, cool deal. So yeah, so these are games that this is going to be the bedrock of my new collection. I'm rebuilding my collection. And it's crazy because I don't even have an NES yet. I have to go buy an NES tomorrow so I can test all these to make sure that they work. But yeah, these are not for sale. And for those of you who know, when I had my old collection, I didn't sell it on whatnot or anything. I found a local, quiet, private seller and did a very quiet private sale. I don't really like selling to my subscribers. I don't really do that. But yeah, so I'll tell you guys how much I paid because I don't believe in like making stuff up. This whole lot of games cost me 750. Now, to some people, that's a lot of money, and it is a lot of money. Like I'm not gonna sit here and act like it's not a lot of money. That's a lot of money. Um, it is a lot of money. Oh, you paid it's like your NES is like I'm looking for a top loader NES. Actually, that's what I want to get my hands on. I'm gonna try to see if I can find a top loader with the wishbone controllers. But um so yeah, so total grand total I paid 750 for this bundle. When I price charted it out, it came pretty close to around 1400 that was the value. So, roughly 45% off was what I got for all of these games. And to me, like I'm not a reseller, so I don't need to get like crazy margins on these games. I'm not gonna sell these games. These are going back into my collection. So as a collector, to find these games at that price, to me, was a really great deal. I felt like I got a good deal. And most importantly, because of the condition, these aren't like the labels aren't torn up. There's not too much yellowing. For the most part, these games are in fairly solid condition. And anything that might be wrong with them, I should be able to I should be able to clean them. You said how many games total? I think it was like nine. I think it's 9 games in total, or eight. No, actually, my math is way. It's 10 games in total. Whoops. Yeah, so 10 games in total was what I got here. So an average of $75 a game. And I think I'm getting a bunch of questions. Are these games rare? Some of these games are pretty rare. Like some of them are pretty rare. I think they're all on the pricier side, but some of these are like really, really rare. Like Bucky O'Hare is kind of rare. Snow Brothers is pretty rare. Easy. I don't know what the sticker price was on this. I think this was like $90 or like $70 for this. But Snow Brothers is rare. Probably the rarest and most expensive game out of this whole lot is Gunnak. I've seen loose cards of this game go from between 300 to 350. So this is probably the most rare one out of the bunch that I got. But I'll be honest with you, Gunnak is this is probably not the most fun games. Like the rarest games here are not the most fun games to me. The most fun games are gonna be Batman: Return of the Joker. This is a very fun game. Ninja Gaiden 3 is also going to be a very fun game. G.I. Joe Atlantis Factor. These are all games I had in my old collection, so I know these games are fun. Castlevania Legends is another one that I'm looking forward to getting into, and Klonoa. So these are the more fun ones. Some of these are just really rare, and I hadn't seen them before, so I just grabbed them. Um, but yeah, Easy says you're right. A collector sees pricing differently than reselling. That's what I'm stuck between. I have different vision than RJC, but at the same time, I need to resell. Yeah, yeah, man. I don't know. I've thought about dabbling in reselling, but I just don't have the time for it right now. I would love to be able to do more. I'd love to be able to do more yard sales. But I think what I'm going to do is I think I'm gonna set some time aside this month to go to like a flea market somewhere like in LA, or I'm really gonna try to find like I'm gonna try to see if I can find where like Riff goes, cause he always posts these videos of himself like in LA at these swap meets where he's like digging through all these games and they're finding all these games for dirt cheap. So I want to see if it's real. How's your PS1 and PS2 game collection going? So my PS2 collection is pretty weak right now. I only have two games in my PS2 collection, and that is Shadow the Hedgehog and Maximo Goes Glory. So those are the only two PS2 games in my collection. Now I did get my most coveted console back. So three of my most favorite consoles that I regretted selling when I sold my collection was my Sega CDX, my import Sega Saturn, and what was the next console? If I had to pick a handheld, I'd probably say the Analog Pocket. So I'm probably gonna be going after like the first five consoles that I'll probably add back to my collection are gonna be a Sega CDX, a Sega Saturn, a PlayStation 2, a NES, and maybe a Super Nintendo. So those are gonna be the ones that I'm gonna look for. I'm really gonna try to take my time. But I have a shipment coming Friday, so I was able to negotiate a deal with someone online. And so I've got some really cool stuff to show you guys. Also, right before I left the East Coast, I was able to snag a copy of Bomberman for the Sega Saturn. So Bomberman Saturn, which was I wish when I had my collection I had Bomberman, but like right after I sold everything, I just ran into a really good deal for that game. So that's another one. So I'm slowly rebuilding the collection. Um, let's see. I used to live in LA and I wish I found those flea markets and swap meets. Yeah, I don't know where Riff goes. Like I feel like Riff and I don't know who the other guy that he's with. I don't know the name of their group. I don't think they're the Game Chasers. I think that's someone else. I don't know what they call themselves online, but I remember when I used to be in New York and I never really watched a lot of their videos. I would watch their videos sometimes and I would always see them like, oh, yeah, we're up at like 6 a.m. or 5 a.m. and we're here at the swap meet. And in my mind, I'd be like, what the hell is a swap meet? So now here I am, I'm on the West Coast and I want to go see what those swap meets look like face to face. So I'm going to try to find one and see if I can go there. And if I can find these amazing deals that these guys seem to find, it'd be great for me. I don't know. I don't know. We'll see if it's real or not. Easy says he really finds that stuff, but some stuff is staged. I know. Only reason why is because I'm in enough to know, but my stuff is never staged. I only planned my theme of the video. Last one was redeeming myself. Dogma is based on a movie where two angels try to redeem themselves, as well as find loopholes and get back to heaven. Kind of like loopholes at GameStop that I taught RJC. Oh, Pixel Game Squad. That's what they call themselves. That's right. I forgot. Don't go to Slauson Swap Meet. Slauson? Don't go to Slauson? Why not? Am I gonna get banged on in Slauson? I'm from New York, man. I don't do that gang stuff. I mean, yeah, I don't really do that gang stuff. Plus, like, I don't know if Slauson is worse than San Bernardino. San Bernardino's kind of, I mean, baseline, San Bernardino's kind of rough. I don't know if LA is what it used to be, but I'll take your word for it though. I'm not gonna be going down to Crenshaw or none of that. I ain't messing with none of that right now. I got kids, man. I need to come home to my kids. Come up here. I'll only record your hands. It'll be a dope video. Where are you again, Easy? Oh, Sloss and Swap Meet is rough. Man, I bet you they have some sick deals there though, because everybody's too scared to go there. I bet you find some crazy games at the Sloss and Swap Meet. Everybody's too scared to go. You probably find the sickest deals there. You probably find like a whole Sega Genesis collection. You probably find all types of stuff over there because everybody's just scared to go there. I'd go there. I'd go there. I'd go there early and get out. Oh, Victorville. Victorville. Is that like, I'm trying to think where is Victorville north of San Bernardino? Is it north of like Loma Linda or is it south? Cause I'm like more south. I'm more like Temecula, like that area. At GameStop or Flea. Oh, it's up the hill from San Bernardino. Okay. Oh yeah, you're like high desert. Okay. I think I know where that's at. Y'all like I'll let you know easy. Sorry for the yawn, guys. I'm tired, man. It's been a long day. Oh, it's on the way to Vegas. Oh, damn. Um, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I'll hit you up. I think well, I don't have Instagram anymore. I deleted my Instagram, so I don't have Instagram right now. But I'll tag you on here whenever I'm making my way up that way, and I'll see if we can connect. But yeah, guys, yeah, this is probably my hour and a half away from Culver City. Oh, okay, so that's not too bad. Yeah, guys, this was my first real pickup since moving to the West Coast. It happened very suddenly and randomly. And I can honestly say this is probably the most valuable, like, one shot pickup I've ever gotten at a GameStop. Like, I don't know if I've picked up this many valuable games in one shot at GameStop. So it was pretty cool to see. Pretty cool to see. And the thing that I love the most is that one, two, three, four of these games were in my original collection. So I got to add back four originals. And to be quite honest, in almost all cases, all these versions are better than my original versions, with the exception of this Batman. My Batman was better. And then I just found like some really like rare NES games and got them at like 45 to 47% off. So really good deal. So yeah, man, that does it for me. It is late. I am going to go to bed. But you guys keep on rocking out. I will be around. Gonna try to post more. It's a little tough because the family and I were still transitioning, but I will try to post more. But you guys enjoy the rest of your evening, and I will catch you in the next one. It's the Y2K Collector. Take it easy.